And here we are, at last, ranking every single Total War title from Shogun 1 to 3 Kingdoms, including the Saga titles, but it's going to be looking at the Steam reviews, see what you think, see where the community ranks them. I'm really looking forwards to this. Let's begin and start off in 13th place. Now you've got to remember, of course, reviews do change over time. Just because they're there now does not mean they'll be in that position tomorrow. Of course, reviews are always changing. So, 13th place, Thrones of Britannia. I think this does deserve the bottom spot. The campaign did lack content and overall was not that enjoyable. However, I do have to give it credit for its multiplayer, and it does have some very interesting sieges in there. So it definitely, it does have some positives going for it, and, if you are into sieges or multiplayer, you could still buy this and have fun, but overall, its campaign is severely lacking. Thrones of Britannia, 13th place, with only 62% positive ratings, so, that's not great. That's really not great for Total War titles. Mixed reviews, ooh. And then in 12th, at 67%, we have another Saga title. Fall of the Samurai for Shogun II Total War. Shogun II Fall of the Samurai was actually just an expansion for most of its time, a DLC, but the devs turned it into a Saga title to up the overall reviews of the Saga title series. So that when they do release Total War Saga Troy, people can look, how are the other Saga titles, and see, it's got one negative one, but it's got one positive reviewed one. But then people kind of review bombed it, giving it a lot of negative reviews, and that killed it. So yeah, Fall of a Samurai should be much higher. It shouldn't even be on this list as a title, but due to CA doing some certain stuff, it is here, and it is at 67%. Because it's not meant to be here though, I don't know if it really counts, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. In 11th, we have Medieval 1 Total War with 68%. Now this is a good game for its time. Lots of people played it and loved it, and still some people play it to this day. But the Steam version is not that compatible with new computers, and so the new audience coming back to it, they're more ranking down the Steam version than the game itself, which is very unfortunate. But still, we got to keep to the rules. It's here at 11th place. I would not put it here personally, the reviews have. Now in 10th, we have a tie. Two different games got 10th place at a 76% review rating. Attila Total War and Warhammer 1 Total War. Attila is quite a good game, but it suffers from optimization and getting new players into it, which is a very big turn off, I think, for Attila. And Warhammer 1, again, a good game. A lot of people do like it, but it does come with its issues, and it's kind of obsolete now that you've got Warhammer 2 Total War. Overall though, I did not expect Attila Total War to be down here in 10th place. I thought it would have done better, but oh well. In 9th, we have Rome 2 Total War, and I bet this will be much higher, but still, negative reviews from the past are still present, which drags it down. Overall, this is not the perfect tier review. It's not going to be perfect. It more just shows reviews of its lifetime sort of thing. 80% positive review rating overall for Rome 2 Total War. I don't personally like it. I prefer Attila. I just find Rome 2 to be a little bit too easy and a bit dull, but that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people do disagree. By the way, there is going to be a Rome 2 Total War 2v2 tournament sometime this year. Unsure when, but there will be one happening sometime. So if you have a duo partner that you play Rome 2 with and you want to get involved, join my Discord, and yeah, could be fun. It will more than likely be sponsored by CA as well. They've sponsored my other events, so yeah, could be some good prizes to win. Also, if you're a Rome 2 fan and you want to being the chance for winning a copy of Empire Divided DLC, be there for Saturday and Sunday's livestream, the Medieval 2 Total War 1v1 tournament. CA has given me some copies of Empire Divided to give away. But moving on now to number 8. What is in spot number 8? It has an 84% review ranking and it's for Three Kingdoms Total War. Overall, I did enjoy this when I played it. Very well optimised, and I do like that it reaches a historical audience and a fantasy audience at the same time. But overall, a lot of people did not like the heroes. There is a records mode to play, but still a lot of people thought it was a little too cartoony and were not satisfied with the records mode. Overall, down at 84%. However, it is the second most played Total War currently. And you know, it still needs time to get patched and all its DLCs out. If we judged this like a few years ago, Rome 2 would be right at the bottom because of how that launched. Same with Empire. You know, it does deserve the benefit of the doubt. It deserves a bit more time, like all the other titles have had. Number 7, we have CA's first ever title, Shogun 1 Total War, with an overall 85% positive review rating. Most of the negative reviews will be coming in for compatibility issues or to do with the Steam version. Yeah, there could be a lot of people failing there and being annoyed because of it. That does cause a lot of negative reviews, so it could actually be higher if those worked. But overall, considering Medieval 1 got 68%, this one getting 85% is quite good. So yeah, Shogun 1 Total War, 7th place. Did not expect that. I thought it would be negative review bombed like Medieval 1, but it actually turned out okay. Number 6, surprised it made it this high, Empire. Empire Total War at number 6. This is very surprising. Again, I thought the negative review bombs from launch would be enough to destroy it on this list. But no, people think it's patched, people have come back, and people continue to play it. It's got quite a big fan base now. A lot of demand always for Empire 2 as well. Overall, Empire Total War, right now, very popular. 88% positive review rating. But now we're into the top 5. What are the top 5 best Total War titles out there according to Steam? In 5th, with an 89% positive rating, just 1% above Empire, we have Napoleon Total War. And I think it fits really nicely here, just 1% above Empire, because that's really what it is. It's just Empire, but patched. You know, it does add some stuff, but overall it's patched, simpler, runs better, but still it is Empire. I think as the ratings putting it just that 1% higher, you know, I think that's a good spot for it. I personally do love Napoleon Total War, and I would put it much higher on this list, and Empire much lower. That's just my personal preference. But from what I see from the community's opinion, I think this is a good spot for it. Number 4. And again, I expected this one to be here as well. Shogun 2 Total War, with a 90% positive review rating. A lot of people do like Shogun 2. Where can you really complain? Overall, good interesting battles, good sieges, fun campaign, and it runs beautifully as well. Very optimised, brilliant graphics, brilliant frame rate. Overall, if your frame rate is struggling with this, you've got a problem. For the time that it released, it is very well optimised. Considering that the game after was Rome 2 and the games before were Empire and Napoleon, it does run very nicely. Shogun 2, very high up, but I would not put it in 4th, not personally, because I don't like the unit choice. There's not enough choices with the unit selection. Unlike, you know, Rome Total War, Medieval 2, or almost every other title, Shogun 2 has it worst there. Which is very unfortunate, but overall, you know, everything else about it is good. Shogun 2, 4th place. Number 3, and this is currently the most played Total War title, but it's only 3rd with its reviews. Warhammer 2 Total War. Clearly it's the most dominant Total War out there, lots of good reviews. It's currently sat at 92% positive review rating, which is very good. Lots of players every single day. Warhammer 2 has a lot of support, and you know, myself trying to get into it now, I'm playing it a bit and I am enjoying my experience with Warhammer 2. Definitely a very good game and much deserving of that plus 15% review rating it has over Warhammer 1. Although, if I'm being honest, I actually expected it to come in first place with the overall reviews. But, you know, third is still a good spot for it. 1% more than Warhammer 2 in second place, we have Rome 1 Total War, and I'm happy to see it here. I'm happy that even though it struggles to run on new computers, and I mean it really does struggle to run at times, a lot of people will have frame rate issues, I'm happy to see that it's still up here in second place. Rome Total War, brilliant game, and the fact that it's an old title, and I mean a very old title, and it's got bad frame rate on new PCs, the fact that it still gets 93% positive reviews, and still has a very active player base, and you know, a person like me can build a channel almost entirely off Rome 1 and Medieval 2, is very impressive. It still holds to this day. It needs a remaster in my opinion. Rome Total War, brilliant game. Brilliant, definitely deserves a second place spot. And then in first, with 94% overall positive rating, 94%, we have Medieval 2 Total War. And again, you've got to consider, it's an old title, and it struggles to run on new PCs at the same time as well, which is kind of annoying. Not as bad as Rome 1 Total War, and definitely not as bad as Medieval 1 Total War, but still, it's not that great when it comes to its overall optimization and how that has survived later on. But still a brilliant game. Just amazing game, brilliant to play. I love Medieval 2. There's Medieval 2 streams coming, Medieval 2 videos on a regular basis. Overall, Medieval 2 Total War, I think, definitely does deserve this spot. First place at 94% positive rating. And that's everything. So this video, you know, it's not about going into the details of why they're here. It's not about going into my opinion really, even though I put a bit of all that in there. It's more about just seeing what the Steam reviews are and putting them in some form of an order. It's not perfect because not everyone reviews it on Steam. Some people have disc version as well. You know, it depends when it released. Now, Rome 2 has been given time to actually be patched and, you know, go up in the overall ranking, whilst Three Kingdoms hasn't been given that time. You've also got to take into consideration as well that this is ranking the Steam version, not the disc version, which is quite a big problem for games like Medieval 1 Total War. Overall though, I think it's a very interesting list, and I've loved having a look at every single game and putting them in some form of an order. You know, of course this list is going to constantly change. I might do it again in 1 year's time, see how it is. Some of them will be in the same spot, Thrones at the bottom, Medieval 2 at the top, more than likely. But you know, some will still move around. I bet Rome 2 will continue to go up. I bet Attila will continue to go up. I think Three Kingdoms will continue to go up in this list. But with the release of Warhammer 3 possibly coming, where would Warhammer 2 go? Would that go up? Or would it go down? As, like Warhammer 1, it might become overshadowed or outdated. Who knows? I've been MELKOR. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've possibly learnt something. Feel free to put your ranking tier list in the order as well. Remember, this is just looking into Steam reviews. This is not my overall opinion. So yeah, bear that in mind. Share with anyone you think may be interested in this video. Subscribe for more. Until the next one, goodbye.